South Carolina, child support is set by the child support guidelines, which are based on the income of the mother and the father. It is a good idea to go to the South Carolina Department of Social Services website and complete the child support calculator. The results of the child support calculator do not guarantee that the family court judge will change the child support obligation, but it is a helpful indicator in making a decision about proceeding. You should carefully consider the results of the calculator before deciding if filing a child support modification will benefit you and your family. Let's look at the calculator and work through an example. How many children are to be supported in this action? You will need to fill in the box with the number of children in the court order that you want to modify. For our example, we will use 2. Just type the number in the box. Who has custody of the child or children? Press the arrow next to the box labeled Select Custodian, and the following drop-down box appears. Usually the mother or the father has custody. Another person can be a grandparent, a relative, or someone else the child lives with. If your child is in foster care, you would select this option. Split custody means you have at least one child living with you, and the other parent also has at least one child living with him or her. This is not common. Shared custody means that the non-custodial parent has court-ordered visitation with the children overnight for more than 109 overnights each year. We'll pick the mother as the custodial parent for our example. If there is a split custody or a shared custody arrangement, complete these sections as needed. The income section is next. Monthly income is used. Gross income is the amount you make before anything is taken out. It is usually the first block on a paycheck stub. If you are paid weekly, multiply the gross amount by 4.33 to get the monthly amount. We'll use $2,000 for our example. You will need the other parent's income. If you do not know this, consider what you think the income is. You may want to use the income from the guidelines worksheet or court order when child support was set. If this is not available, you can use minimum wage. We'll use $1,500 for the other parent. The next section is alimony. You only use this section for the parents in this case. If this applies, the person paying alimony fills in the block to be paid. The same amount goes in the block to be received for the other parent. This is not common, so we're not going to include this in our example. The next block is for other alimony or child support paid. If you or the other parent pay child support or alimony for another family, include this amount here. Next, you will fill in the number of other children in the home. You will fill in the number of children in your house that are not in the court order. These children must be your natural or adopted children living in your home. If the other parent has additional children that are not in the court order, include this number. The child support guidelines also consider some additional expenses and adjust the support amount based on these. The cost of health insurance for children is an additional expense. If you have the children covered under health insurance that includes you or dependents, subtract out the cost for you and the other dependents and type in the balance. If you cannot verify the amount, you may take the total premium and divide it by the number of persons covered. In our example, insurance costs $200 per month for family coverage. This is for you, your spouse, and the 2 children in the order. If you cannot determine what amount is for the children, you would divide $200 by 4 as 4 people are included. This is $50 per person. Since you have 2 children, you would enter $100 in this box. If the other parent provides health insurance, the amount that parent pays goes in the box. The next additional expense is extraordinary medical expenses for children. This would be listed under the parent who pays these bills. These are usually the type of bills that a child with a serious illness might have. If the bills are covered by insurance or Medicaid, they should not be included. Only bills paid out of pocket are included. If you have these type bills, be prepared to document the costs and have the bills and receipts available for the court. The next item is work-related child care costs. If you are the parent paying this, you would list this here. If you are not paying for child care, you should list this for the other parent. Child care costs can significantly change the amount of support due. If you do not know the amount actually being paid, you should determine what reasonable costs are in the community where the child lives and include this. We will use $60 a week. Multiply this by 4.33 to get a monthly amount of $259. When you have completed the form, press the Calculate Child Support button on the bottom left. This takes you to a page showing the guidelines amount. Our example is $603 per month. Divide this by 4.33 for a weekly amount of $139.26. Child support that is paid through the clerk of court has 5% added for court costs. After you have completed the calculations, you may want to go back and use different figures. For example, in this same case with no child care costs, support is $455 per month. You may also want to try the calculation with different amounts for the other parent's income if you are not certain of that amount. Once you have calculated the child support amount, you can make a better decision about trying to get the child support order modified. You should view the other sections, the instructions and forms before you begin the process.